Peace. I just wanted to take a moment and build briefly on a couple questions that one of my subscribers down in the South, the Georgia area, sent me. And she wanted to know, can a woman be a queen with or without a man? And then secondly, can a man make a woman into a queen? And before I get into those answers, I think it's first and foremost important to understand that anytime you're interacting with someone, you're always going to have three primary ego states that are at play. And those ego states are parent, adult, or child. And anytime you're interacting with someone, you're going to see the dynamic where you may be the parent and they may be the child. It may be flipped around. You may be a child and they may be the parent. It may be adult to adult. Depending upon who that person is and how you're interacting with them, you're going to have a parent, adult, or child ego state at play. Now, if you wanted more information and detail about those ego states, I actually put out a book called Games, Transactional Analysis, Trick Knowledge, and the Psychology of People Running Game. You can get it at my website, atlantischool.blogspot.com. Look on my right sidebar. You'll see Games amongst my other titles, or you could just go on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, search under my pen name, S.Quanaya, Quanaah, and then Games, and my other titles will come up. Now, it's important that I mention that because when we're talking about a woman who is a queen, we're talking about a woman, grown woman, who is operating from an adult or a potentially parent ego state. She's not a child. A young girl or a young female, a child, is considered a princess, and that is an immature queen or a queen in training. Until she becomes self-actualized and evolves, that is when she steps into the role and the responsibility of a queen. So when we're talking about a queen, we're not talking about a princess, or we're not talking about a female with a child ego state. We're talking about a grown woman who is an adult or potentially a parent, because she may be a mother herself or a mother figure to other children in her family or in her community. So in terms of, can a woman be a queen with or without a man? Yes, because we're talking about a grown woman who's an adult and potentially a parent. And as an adult or a parent, who they are is not hinging upon who I say I am or who I'm not. That is their own destiny, her own self-identity, and the way that she is self-actualizing in terms of knowledge of herself. So even though a woman can be a queen with or without a man, it's also important to understand that she maximizes that infinite potential through her counterpart, because it is through her counterpart or through her relationship with the king that she's able to produce an heir to that throne. So it allows her to expand upon and build upon that status of a queen. It's likewise true with a man who defines himself as a king. Yeah, I can be that with or without a woman, but I maximize that infinite potential through my counterpart, because through her, I reproduce, or I can create an heir to this throne. Now that takes us into the 17th letter in the supreme alphabet, which symbolizes Q, or queen. That is knowledge God. So we're not only talking about a woman who has knowledge of who I am as a true and living God, but she also is aware of her own infinite potential and her ability to produce that infinite potential through an heir to that throne. Also, when you add knowledge and God together, it comes up to build or destroy. So she's also conscientious of her ability to bring forth and take away life. You take it to the knowledge God degree in the 1 to 40s, it asks the question, what is the meaning of civilization? And the answer to that degree is one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and it's not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. So it's not just talking about a woman who's aware of who I am. It's not just talking about a woman who's aware of her own infinite potential and her potential to bring forth that in the form of an heir, or it's also talking about a woman who has a sense of civilization, who demonstrates a level of sophistication, decorum, social grace, and etiquette that you wouldn't see other women expressing, because they don't possess the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, or sense of refinement that she has. So therefore, you won't see a queen stepping down off her chariot throwing tomatoes at commoners. It is not to say that she's above women who see themselves as commoners. It just means that she is above certain ways and actions, because she is not pursuing things in life the same way that a woman who sees herself as a commoner is pursuing, especially happiness. So to answer the second question, can a man make a woman into a queen? A man cannot make another adult or parent do anything. So no, a man cannot make a grown woman do anything. And it's likewise true. A grown woman can't make a grown man do anything. The only time a man is in a position to help a princess, a young female, mature into a queen is if that is his own daughter, or he's a father figure to young females in his family or within his community. So going back to what I was talking about in terms of the parent, adult, and child ego states, I have my own 2 young queens. And when it was parent-child dynamic going on and they were in my household and I was telling them what to do when they were young girls, until they matured into young women, that is when the dynamic changed from parent to child to adult to adult. So now, because they're young women, we deal with each other adult to adult. Yeah, they're still my children, but that dynamic shifted from that into adult to adult. So I don't tell them what to do anymore. I negotiate with them. I give them advice. I coach them. I provide counsel. It's a different type of dynamic now that they have grown and developed and have become more evolved and self-actualized into the apex of who they are, which means I had to shift the way in which I interact with them. Those are my daughters. So imagine how that looks if you as a grown man is coming to another grown woman, talking to her like she a princess or trying to tell her what to do. You can't make a grown person do nothing, just like a grown woman can't make a grown man do anything. So can a man make a woman into a queen? No. A man can't make a grown woman do nothing. A man can help a young girl or a young female evolve. And that is if it's his daughter or he's a father figure to other females or in his family or in his community. But as a grown woman, no, we don't make grown women do nothing. It is up on her to grow and develop into the knowledge of her own self. So this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educating, and gave you a little bit more clarity to those questions that you asked me in terms of, can a woman be a queen with or without a man? Yep. But if she really wants to fully express her infinite potential, it is through her counterpart to produce an heir. Can a man make a woman into a queen? No, you can't make a grown woman do nothing. You can suggest something, but unless that is your daughter or young girls or females in your family or in your community, you're not in a position to do that. So, peace.